Welcome back to GetXAML. Today we'll solve some problems on confidence intervals. Two independent samples are drawn from the same population. Sample 1 has 3 observations. Sample 2 has 100 observations. The ratio of the widths of 95% confidence intervals for a population mean from sample 1 to sample 2 is. See, it's very simple. We need not calculate anything. So what is that confidence interval is x bar plus or minus. If it is t test, g alpha by 2 sigma by square root n or t test, this remains same. So you can say that sample 1 is inversely proportional to square root of n1. Sample 2 inversely proportional to 1 by square root of n2. So width of 25% confidence intervals for population mean from sample 1 to sample 2. So Ci of sample 1, this is Ci of sample 1, Ci of sample 2. So it will be square root of n2 by n1, the ratio. So this is square root of n2 is 100 divided by square root of 50. This comes to be 1414. Since both are having 95%, so there will be no change. And if we calculate also, we'll get the same answer. If the interval changes for sample 1 and sample 2, then we have to calculate it. 90% confidence interval for population mean is 20,30. The sample mean x bar is, this is also straightforward. So 90% already they calculated and they given this. What is that they are saying? Your mu is equal to x bar plus or minus. So they are saying this is already given 20 and 30. So this is nothing but x bar plus is equal to 30 higher side, x bar minus some error is 20. So this is 2x bar is equal to 50. So x bar is equal to 25. Next, confidence intervals for population mean are calculated at levels 1 minus alpha equal to 95%, 1 minus alpha 2 alpha is equal to 90%. The ratio of the lengths of the confidence intervals is at 90% to the length at 95%. So what is that they are asking? They are asking z of alpha by 2 and then z2 alpha by 2 is z alpha by 2 is z alpha. That is the ratio they are asking. So this is 95% is 1 and 90% is another. So you just take the ratio. So this will be equal to 1.645. The table they have not given values. So this value if you calculate from table it will be this. And this will be 1.96. So take the ratio. This is 0.839. This is the answer. Only thing is these values they should have given. They are not given, but from the table you can get these values. Next. As sample size increases from 50 to 500, the 95% confidence interval for the population mean at fixed significance level, how it varies, they are asking. If the sample, if I increase from 50 to 200, how this will vary? See, you know, confidence interval is proportional to your L1, proportional to 1 by square root of your N1 sample size. The length, confidence interval length, proportional to this, right? The width, whatever the first problem, if you remember, calculated, same. So that implies what? They are asking if Ci for N1 equal to 50, it becomes N2, that is mu 1 200. Now what is the difference? How much it will the width? This will increase. What is the ratio or percentage? So Ci2 divided by Ci1 is equal to square root of N1 or L2 divided by this one. So this is 50 divided by 200 square root. This will be equal to 1 by 2 or 50%. Okay, this is nothing but what? L2 length of that confidence interval divided by length. Okay. You can calculate using the values, but it will take more time. Just you get the same answer. Logical. Next, a sample of 300 observation has mean, sample mean n is equal to 200, x bar is equal to 15,200, and standard deviation yes equal to 3,800. 99% confidence interval Ci is equal to 99%. That implies alpha equal to 1 minus 0.99. This will be equal to 0.001. Okay. 0.01. Now, so what is that to calculate? 99% for the population mean, that is mu is equal to x bar plus or minus z alpha by 2 into, so we are applying z test. Why? Because standard deviation is given for the population. Okay, so if you calculate that, you will get it as this sigma by square root of n. Okay, actually this is sigma. We should have mentioned here population standard deviation. Okay, otherwise you have to apply t test because they are given the z value. That means it should be population standard deviation. So if you calculate this, so this is equal to x bar is given 15,200 plus or minus, so z of 0.005 into 3008 divided by square root of n, so square root of 200. So this value they are given here as 2.56. Substitute 2.576. So we will get mu equal to, so 14508, 15890 is the answer. Only thing is be careful about this. Next, a sample of 120 observation, 120 gives an estimated variance of sample variance, okay, S square 25. The 95% confidence interval Ci equal to 95%. That implies alpha equal to 0.05. For the standard deviation of the population is, so to apply chi-square test. So sigma square equal to n minus 1 into s square divided by chi-square of alpha by 2 comma n minus 1 comma n minus 1 s square divided by chi-square of 1 minus alpha by 2 comma n minus 1. So the n value, n equal to 120 they are given, s square they are given. So these values are also they are given. 0.025 alpha by 2 means, because alpha is equal to 0.05. If you calculate, you will get it in the range of 19.90 comma 32. So standard deviation is square root of this. Okay, this is how you calculate. Next, a sample of 40 observations equal to 40 has a mean of 1980 and standard deviation S is equal to 50. So they are mentioning here sample standard deviation, sample mean and observation. That means there is no population standard deviation or variance given. So I have to apply the t-test. So the two-tailed 5% test. So how will you do it? What is the mean value they are asking? So apply the t-test. X bar is equal to, mu is equal to x bar plus or minus t alpha by 2 comma n minus 1 s by square root n. So this is 1980 plus or minus t of, so two tail test means alpha by 2 only. By default, it is 2 tail test only what we are conducting. So this will be 0.025, comma, degrees of freedom is n minus 139. S is 50 divided by square root of 40. This value they are given here 2.022. You substitute it, we'll get it as 1964, comma 1996. In that is the answer. That completes your probability and statistics for GATE, data science and artificial intelligence subject. Okay, so we shall start the new subject in the next video. Please, thank you for watching. Please to like, please subscribe, share your friends so that it reaches many people. Thank you.